To something lighter now, Phuti Khomo, a celebrated actress, businesswoman and former Miss SA teen, is calling on government to officially recognize modeling as an art. Khomo says government policies have led to the systemic neglect of the modeling industry. To tell us more about why she feels aggrieved, Phuti joins us in studio this evening. Phuti Khomo, thank you so much for your time and for joining us and looking so stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So the modeling industry has contributed to many other industries. We see how a lot of young people in adverts, on catalogs, have contributed to a very growing economy. Why do you think models are neglected in the way that they have?
Well, besides the fact that everybody sees modeling as a pastime and just some frivolous thing that young kids just want to partake in. But really, can someone really have that kind of mentality in the ever-evolving world that we're living in right now, especially with social media being as huge and as basically changing, life-changing as it is? People who are in that industry are also models because they are influencers, they are modeling brands, and they are also models, but they're not regulated. How can government still turn a blind eye to that? Our children are now being trafficked in the name of modeling. People are coming into our children's more easily and readily because of social media. You know, people don't want to see modeling as a career, and so that's why people are seeing it as a playground to now, you know, do all the things that they need to do, scam people, exploit people, and ultimately traffic and kill our children.
We saw earlier on Minister Gayton McKenzie, Minister in Sports, Arts and Culture, was speaking at the funeral service of Doc Shibeleza, and he said artists in this country are not considered as workers. Do you feel it's the same for models?
100%. I really do believe that. But, you know, and this is just what gets me. Somebody long ago decided that, you know, let's just put all these, like, let's have the social cohesion. So let's call sports, arts and culture and recreation all under one umbrella and put it under one ministry. But they're not given the same level of respect, and they're not given there's no equity in that. So the budgets are not equal, divided equally around the different facets of that industry, of that ministry. So now what happens now to our people who are neglected? Sports and recreation should be one department, and then move culture and arts as another department. Fine, it will create an extra job for an extra minister, which is fantastic because the deputy minister, we don't even know what they're doing, but put them there in a minister position and let them take the budgets and split them in half and see if we won't have less complaints from people coming from the arts.
I mean, models are critical, like you've often said, to showcasing, and fashion designers are often given that space and the funding. What crucial role do you think models contribute, especially within a GDP, within an economy, for somebody who doesn't understand, like you said earlier on, would see modeling as a frivolous thing that young girls do when they're not sure what to do with their time? I mean, we've seen people like Lerato Moloi, who came through Face of Africa and was international. We've seen your Zizi Betas at some point, yourself. There's so many women who've used that as a springboard, even for other industries. But for someone who doesn't understand, just quite explain what it entails. How does that contribute to other industries and eventually to the GDP?
Okay, first of all, I just want to speak about how do you isolate the two? Fashion and modeling. They go hand in hand. One cannot exist without the other. If a fashion designer designs a garment, who is supposed to display that garment? Who? You need an actual physical person to display that garment. That person needs training. That person needs to know how to take your garment and make it look appealing to somebody who's going to buy it. So how do you then isolate the two and fund one and not fund the other? The importance of modeling, not just taking our South African talent and putting it on an international space, so putting South Africa on the map, you know, where you have people like Zosie Bini who would win a beauty pageant like Miss Universe or Miss World. You know, those kind of things contribute to the country. People then start putting eyes onto the country and seeing and exploring opportunities of coming into the country and putting monies into it. And also, retail is one of the biggest. Clothing retail, it's big. This industry is huge. It knows no bounds. We're talking from your makeup, from your hair, from your jewelry. Every single thing that, you know, we need to live comes from that industry. So the contribution is immense. And how do you not then take care of the people that are in that industry?
Of course. Lastly, Phuti, I mean, how can the private sector, together with government, then pull up together in ensuring that, one, it's regularized, and what contributions, what low-hanging fruit do you see possible as a starting point for this to happen for models?
Okay. Private sector, you know, I applaud them. They're already doing so much. I mean, there's so much brand association with celebrities, even myself, where I am together with so many brands that want me as their ambassador. And so I've seen that across the board with so many of my peers. So they are doing their bit, right? What I would love to see the Department of Arts and Culture do is to recognize modeling as an art and a career, because it is a career. People are living off it right now, being influencers and all. And second, how we can start this process is to first try and regulate it by having agencies that are credible and vetted by the Department of Arts and Culture. So that if a parent has a child who says, I want to be a model, or I'm scouted by an agent, they can know where to turn to say, okay, this agent approached us, are they credible or not? We can go on the website and look at the name of this agency. If it's not there, then that's your red flag, number one, as a parent, you know, because, and I say parents because the programs that I create are for parents to try and get you to be involved in your child's career. If you're not involved, your child is going to do it behind your back.
All right.
Yeah.
Phuti, unfortunately, we have run out of time. A very critical issue, especially for young people.
Absolutely.